Ineos is not done yet as more deals are out to draw. Expected to sign a goalkeeping coach soon. We expect to go back to Benfica to try and lure Joao Neves. We have got an update on the left back position as well, as Ineos are looking and might have zeroed down on their man. My name is Webb. Welcome to the United Sport. Like, share, and subscribe as we do get into this transfer talk yet again. Ladies and gentlemen, farm, like, and indeed do drop a comment if you have one about each and every story that we give you. Now, let's start off with what is the most imminent upcoming potential recruitment for Ineos. It has been broken by the Athletic that man you see right there, Jele Tenruela, he is expected to be joining Manchester United as goalkeeping coach. This is seeming imminent. In fact, he has even spoken with excitement himself. He had just accepted to join Ajax just 2 months ago, but as we speak now, United are set to agree a compensation to Ajax of about 100,000 euros to try and get this man in as a goalkeeping coach. Very, very highly rated goalkeeping coach. This man who worked before at Burnley, but most recently was just said to be joining Ajax. Now, it is said United are serious about him as they look to add him on the backroom staff as they fully constitute the team that is going to support Eric Ten Hag. So expect that confirmation to be coming in soon. But also, Manchester United, according to reports coming through from Portugal, they are suggesting that Man United have not given up completely on Joao Neves. It seems United are in fact willing to break the bank and sign Joao Neves, as they are saying. These reports from Portugal are saying that Manchester United already tabled a 59 million pounds bid for Joao Neves, which was rejected instantly by Benfica. Benfica are holding out for 120 million euros. United expect them to go down on their valuation. United are expecting also to go back with a slightly improved bid to try and sign Joao Neves, whereas they are still monitoring Ugarte as part of the options. They have held discussions with PSG about Ugarte. It seems United are still putting Joao Neves as the top priority of a number six to come in and replace Casemiro. But their feeling is if they can put together the funds, and we are looking at potential sources of funds for United, quite a number of them, because there is even talk now that indeed clubs in Saudi Arabia, like I reported sometime back here before, are seriously interested in Bruno Fernandes. And Manchester United seem to be willing to listen if a crazy offer comes for Bruno Fernandes. And they are hoping if they can make money from say Casemiro, hoping hoping that the deal could be crazy and and not one they can refuse. They could get crazy money from Bruno Fernandes, and maybe that could finance deals for players like Joao Neves, and perhaps even add you Ugarte on him. So these are reports, guys, that are coming through. We cannot refute them completely. I've told you here several times that when it comes to Man United, anything can happen. So these are reports that are beginning to re-emerge about Bruno going to Saudi. Saudi clubs, actually, the Saudi Ministry of Sports and what is the one coming in to try and present a big offer for Bruno Fernandes to go and join their league, because their feeling is if Bruno joins their league now, with Cristiano Ronaldo, I think in the last years of him playing there, in the evening of his career, they feel like it would be a very good advertisement for their league. They are also advanced in trying to sign Kevin De Bruyne for Man City. So their idea is to bring in players who have still got some bit of public appeal on them. When there's still some football in them as well. So they think that Bruno and Kevin De Bruyne can be players they can add on to Cristiano Ronaldo, who is about to clearly retire, but they are not giving up. So guys, let's not entirely dismiss those reports. They are just reports, but let's not dismiss them. Now, the other reports that are coming through, of course, on what next, that in terms of players, we know that with Mathis De Ligt, we are advanced. With Joshua Zirkzee, we are advanced. With Ugarte, the talks have been held. It's now a matter of Man United choosing then to move ahead and make a bid. Now, there is also now talks of Miguel Guitierrez, the young left back I spoke about, as it is being reported now from Spain that Manchester United already agreed a fee for Miguel Guitierrez with Real Madrid. Remember, he's a Real Madrid player now because Real Madrid are saying they're going to trigger his buyback option, that clause of 8 million euros to trigger that and get him back for themselves. So he was sold to Girona, but they had that clause in there. Now Real Madrid are saying they are going to trigger that. So meaning he's literally their player. So Manchester United has got to negotiate with Madrid, not with Girona. So the report suggests that, like again, I've been telling you about this kid. The report suggests that is the player United have prioritized to come in as a left back. Real Madrid's asking price was about 34 million euros, million pounds. But Man United are expecting to hold out for less, maybe 10 million pounds less than that, for about 25 or 24 million pounds, and get him. And he comes in as early as possible to be a part of the team as we start preseason, which is, by the way, starting in just a couple of days. So there is that report again that is again beginning to progress and progress. So it seems really that Man United is serious and advanced in their pursuit of this young 22-year-old Spanish left back. That is Miguel Gutierrez. I told you in my assessment of all the options we have as left backs: Sergio Reguilon, with Milos Kaskis. I think for me, Miguel Gutierrez is a better player in terms of being complete, in terms of how a modern left back should play, in terms of how we expect a left back playing for Erik ten Hag to play. I think is a better option, and it seems Dan Ashworth and the new man who was brought in to support in the interim with player recruitment, that is Christopher Vivo. I think they are all I think in the taking. They're all saying, I mean, he's a good player to bring in into the team. So that's where we are when it comes to the updates. So what next is a new goalkeeping coach Jele Tenduvela. Then most likely going back to try and see if we can have a chance when it comes to JOAO NEVES, because he has always been the first priority. If not, we trigger Ugarte. Third option is a left back. Those are the three next steps that Manchester United is expected to take in this summer transfer window. So let's wait and see what exactly is going to happen. But at least now what we know is that the backroom staff is almost constituted, and at times it's difficult for you to do certain things without a fully constituted recruitment team, but also backroom staff. Also, Steve McLaren, according to what I gather, he might stay. I don't know how many people, I mean, guys, the number of recruitments that Ineos is making, I think, should give us an idea of how rotten the whole project has been. Because even Steve McLaren, according to reports, is expected to stay. Of course, he's the most senior of all guys. He knows the organizational culture. You also you want to keep around guys who know the culture of the institution. You don't want to just bring in, because Ineos are new and trying to do things in a different way, just bring in a bunch of new guys who have no clue about how things run in Man United, because United, unlike so many other clubs, is a traditional club to us to some extent. So I think for me it makes sense, but also that seniority of Steve McLaren is definitely needed to support Erik ten Hag and his staff. So but I mean, you think about how many people are going to be there. How many people is Ineos going to have to pay to just get Man United back to its feet? It's indeed going to be a difficult and expensive job for them. But I think I think there is always that's what they call strength in numbers. And at times, if things do not work so well, especially when you've got a few numbers, it's okay for you to have so many people in to try and do the right thing, so long as everyone is put in their right position, but also have roles properly defined. The problem with having so many people is having roles not properly defined. And you can have questions about Dan Ashworth, for example, and Jason Wilcox, and then this recruitment guy in Christopher Vivo. You might wonder, I mean, what is the structure like? Who is going to do what? But I think they have aligned this, which I think is important. We know that Christopher Vivo is going to, for example, be reporting to Dan Ashworth. We also know that Jason Wilcox is, I think, under Ashworth. So the structure, I think, is explained, and they know. So there won't be clashes of egos and stuff and characters. So for me, that's always going to be important. That Erik ten Hag, before signing his contract, had to be explained to the structure and what exactly his role is in that structure. And I think he's sold and convinced, and that is why we should expect things to be moving forward comfortably without any clashes. But there's quite a number of people. That's to be honest. There's quite a number of people that Ineos has brought in. But for me, it should be all for the good. So that's Man United for you. But what we should be expecting imminently are confirmations for Mathis de Ligt signed, because everyone is for de Ligt joining Man United. Confirmation for Joshua Zirkzee as well, because Man United are ready to trigger his buyout clause and seal him. At least those two are nearly done. My name is Webb. This is the United Hotspot. It is the transfer tracker. Like, share, and subscribe. And thank you guys for liking most of our recent videos. I can see, guys, you're in class. You do like them, and indeed, it's encouraging when people drop comments, but also like. And by the way, I don't care. I mean, I'm one who takes opinions, people's opinions. I do want to pick your opinions about stuff. At times, I focus most on the content and forget certain things. For example, someone gave a good, encouraging comment about the lighting, and look where we are now. I think I even myself, I enjoy working with this lighting. But before, I never cared about it. When I say good story, I just switch on my things and just start. I wouldn't really care about the light. But now, just because of those comments, really, I'm able to look back and say, okay, let's keep improving it more intentionally. But I do remind you, we've got big plans for you for the upcoming season. That's why you've got to like, share, and subscribe, and recommend your people to come and join us here on the United Hotspot. My name is Webb, and let me catch you later, fam.